All right, guys, I want to welcome you to this webinar. I want to do this monthly so I can show you what I see as a realtor. I've been following this since like 2015, 2014, 2015. And it's really interesting to see how numbers go up and down when the variables in the economy changes, like variables such as like interest rates or government regulations, and how that affects supply and demand. All right. So what I want to do is share what I subscribe to. It's called SnapStats. And every month I get this report from this company that organizes the government stats in a readable format. And it's so useful when you follow this, because you can follow this and actually know, like, should you sell right now or should you wait, right? Or is it a good time to buy? So when you start understanding stats, you can make educated choice. There's no way of timing the market. And some of these can go sideways if government comes up with a great first-time buyer program or something that attracts more buyers in the industry. So this may not work then, but one can look at the stats and make an educated choice at that time, right? And then when these variables come in, then you see how that affects the average price, how this affects supply and demand. So, ladies and gents, my name is Ravi Bhindi. I'm a realtor with Royal LePage. I've been a realtor for the last 18 years. Prior to that, I was a real estate investor. I bought my first property in 1997 in Central City. It was a one-bedroom condo for, I remember, $97,000. And then I sold it, and then I bought something else, which was a pre-sale. And that's where my pre-sale journey started, right? So, and since then, I've been buying and selling real estate. I've been following the market. I love numbers. And what I want to do is share some of these numbers with you so you don't get in trouble. I don't want people to get in trouble. Whoever is watching this video, even after we're done, just follow numbers. That's all I say. Don't act on emotions. And as long as you follow numbers, you should be fine. Okay. So I will share with you this right here, monthly stats. Where is it? Right here. Now, this company, what they do is they give us stats every month, right? And they give us stats for Surrey, South Surrey, White Rock. So this is Fraser Valley. They give us stats for Greater Vancouver and Metro Vancouver too. So if Surrey doesn't apply to you, just simply email me and ask me to add you onto our mailing list. So you get this every month and you don't have to pay for it. So it's complimentary on us, all right? So for today's purpose, what I'll do is I'll just go over how to read this, and I'll make some comments on what's happening with the market. So if you look at the stats, right here is the header. Header shows you this is done by SnapStats. It's for City of Surrey and for February of 2022, okay? And this is for the detached homes right here, right? Let me just see if I can highlight this. No, I can't. So this is for detached homes right here, okay? The one we're gonna do for our purposes today is attached, and which is condos and townhomes, okay? So what I've done is I've labeled them part one. So if you're looking in Surrey or any area for that sake, you will see the stats are categorized in terms of community. So if, let's say, you're looking into Mission or Chilliwack, an area you don't know, now you can look at these stats and you can say, okay, here are the communities, and all these are the communities in Surrey. So now you know, you can look up where Bear Creek is in the map, Bolivar Heights is, Bridgeview is, and learn more about the areas. And there's tools out there where you can actually do demographic studies per area and understand what kind of demographics is there, income demographics, and all these different demographics you can learn, right, from this one website we have. Now, for this purposes, what they do here, SnapStats, is they organize stats in terms of community in part one. Okay, they give you this right here. Total number of inventory that came in, and also they give you how many of that inventory sold in the month of February. Okay, so based on hold on. Having some challenges here. Hold on. Okay, I'll move this, delete it. But right there, okay? Sales. So if you look at this right here, Bear Creek had 23 listings come in and 11 of them sold. And that shows you a sales ratio of 48%. Anything over 21% is considered a seller's market. Anything between 10 and 20% is considered a balanced market. And anything under 10% is considered a total buyer's market, okay? So as you can see, based on February stats, we are in a seller's market for sure, still. Now you'll see Bolivar Heights here, which had 7 listings come in, but 9 sold, right? So keep in mind, inventory is the new inventory that came in. It doesn't count the inventory that carried over from January. So this sale that happened, the 2 more sales that happened, are the listings that sold from January. So it gives you what the sales ratio was for that area. So in this section right here, it basically tells you community by community which area is doing what, right? As you can see, Cedar Hills, there's not much listings out there, but 1 sold, so 33%. Like if you see Wally, 182 listings came in, 128 sold, and it's 70% sales ratio, right? So what they do now in the second part is they take this number right here, right? They take this number right here, and what they do is categorize this now in terms of price band. So let's say if you told me, Ravi, I want to buy in Central City. Now you know what the sales ratio is in that area. Now, if you tell me you want to buy in terms of this price band, 500 to 600, well, there were 106 listings that came in the month of February, and 64 sold. So that's 60% sales ratio, right? So now you know that you're in an area where in your price band, there's 60% of things that are selling, and in the area you want, there's 70%. Okay. The third part talks about the same number of inventory right here, 569. And what it does is divides it between studio and 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom. And 4 bedroom and 3 bedroom are mostly townhomes. So you can see how many listings came in these categories and how many sold, right? And you can see the ratio. So if you say, Ravi, I want to buy in Wally, I want to buy between 500 and 600, and I want 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So you're at average about 65% sales ratio at this time, based on your category. So that's part 3. Part 4 here, and I'll zoom this in. It shows you month by month variance. So in January, inventory was at 323. Inventory rose by 76%. Sold listings in January were 282. It went up by a certain number. So I mean, from 282, it went to 359. So 27% sales increase. Average prices went up from 640 to 661. Now, I'll show you one part at the bottom, and I'll come back to this in a bit. And if you look at this here, price per square foot dropped. So some of the prices of maybe larger homes are going down. Unfortunately, these stats don't separate condos and townhomes. They bulk both of them together. So usually when this happens, price per square foot starts coming down. It's the higher up price point units that are starting to sell for less. Okay, average days. I mean, a sales to listing ratio. This is a common question people ask. Like if a home is listed at $1 million, what can I get it for? Here it shows you things on average are selling for 109% in over listing. The sales to listing ratio is 109%, and here 110%, right? So things are selling for 9 to 10% over asking price. And this is average. So there are some homes that are selling for lower, okay? And days on market, 8 days on the market, 7 days on the market, 13% less time it's selling in. Part 5 basically summarizes everything that I talked about on the top, right? What's the seller's market? It is a seller's market. Sales ratio, 6.3 homes out of 10 are selling. Homes selling average of 10% above asking price. And then it talks about more about like just the main points. Okay, so always good to read this. The best part in this, and this is what I follow every month. I want to see what's happening, which is right here. Okay, so let me see if we can move this away. Okay, there we go. Okay, so right here, if you look at this graph, this is a 13-month trend. And what this does is it shows you average prices of homes, townhomes and condos, the supply that came in that respective month, and how was the demand, how many sold, right? So if you look at, what I look at first is I look at what happened last year at this time in this month. And then I want to look at what is happening this month. So if you look at inventory, it was at 590. The inventory went down to 569. So inventory has gone up. Sales have actually come down, right, from last year. And if I show you this 13-month trend for last 3 months, the numbers are way higher compared to last year. So the sales amount, the demand was way higher. This is the first month where demand has dropped a bit, okay? So this is really interesting for me to see when I see these numbers. And it makes me think, is this a start of market slowing down? And we don't know, right? There's a lot of variables out there that dictate demand. And in past, what has happened is when the rates have gone up, market takes about 2-3 months to adjust to the rate increase. And then there's so much uncertainty in the world that, and the stock market that affects demand as well. So market takes about 3-4 months to adjust to these things. And then the market starts picking up again. And this has happened pre-COVID in 2019 when market was slowing down. January, February actually picked up, and it showed that the market was gradually, naturally picking up until Bank of Canada lowered the rates to all-time low, and the market picked up on fire. And it wasn't supposed to happen that way, but naturally it was supposed to go up. But the rate decrease actually made the market go up, right? So now if you look at this, the way you follow this is if you look at the average price here, 510, and you look at the inventory and you look at the supply and demand, right? If supply goes up, demand goes up, price goes up. And same thing here, supply went up, demand went down, prices started coming down, right? So and if you follow this, like if you look at right here, supply started falling, demand started moving constant and going up. Look at what happened to price, right? It started rising and rising and rising. And now what I see happening, if this continues, where we get more inventory next month, where inventory line goes up, so the supply line goes up and demand stays constant or even goes down, then average prices will start coming down, right? So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, will the prices drop? And the prices will not drop, unfortunately. But if you're active in the market, will you pick up something at a good deal? Yes, you will. So you have to be active in the market to understand what is a good deal, right? So it's not that market will drop and then you jump in. You jump in while this is happening and you try to figure out what is a good deal. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. I think we're headed into an interesting time where the weather is getting better. PCR tests is kind of waived when you come into Canada. A lot of people with the good weather will start going out and enjoying the weather and taking vacations. And everyone in here, I'm pretty sure you guys have planned vacations just like myself. Everyone is gonna be out and about in summertime. So I see the summer market actually slowing down. I think supply is going to pick up and the demand will maybe slow down or stay constant. And for next 3 months, we're gonna see, because Bank of Canada has raised rates, a lot of people who have good rates locked in, they want to shop now before their rate expires in 90 days. And historically, what has happened is when these people jump in and start buying, market does pick up for a bit. But after 3 months is what will be interesting to see what happens with the market. Will it slow down? Will it not? Will Bank of Canada raise the rates? Will some other variables come in and change the stats? Don't know. But based on the facts today, it shows the market will be slowing down a bit. And there will be good deals if you are active in the market, right? So this is all I wanted to show you guys. There's 10 minutes left in this webinar. So with respect with time, if you guys have any questions, please fire away. Would love to answer them, right? And actually, do you know what? I do have a mortgage broker from Scotia on the line. And do you know what, Shomo, if you can unmute your mic, please. I want to ask you.
I think I am unmuted.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, so listen, so a lot of people have questions, right? Like with rates coming up, what do you see happening in the market now?
So I think I've been noticing a lot on the social media and statuses on people on what people take is on interest rates and variable rate, fixed rate. I had someone ask me the other day, what do you think I should do, fixed rate or variable rate? So just to make things simple and easy, the thing is basically people have already decided, or we know from the numbers, like Ravi mentioned, numbers speaks for itself. Do you know in Canada, 70 to 77% of the mortgage people are taking, whether it's refinance or purchases, choose fixed rate mortgages. So it's a common sentiment amongst the people to gravitate towards a little more stable and more towards a fixed rate. So there is only approximately 20 to 25, not even 25, it's too high. I would say 18 to 22% of the people are only into variable rate mortgages. So you are seeing a very minority of the people in Canada is comfortable with variable rate. And also another thing with variable rate, I was noticing some of them putting on their status saying, ask your bank, your mortgage payment's gonna increase. That is not right. Your mortgage payments don't increase. Is the amount that is going towards your principal and the amount you're paying in interest each month, that's what's going to change. Means each month, if you're making $1,000 payment, it stays the same. But before you were making, let's say $500 towards principal, and previously you were making $500 towards interest. Now with increased interest rate, you will be making less towards the principal. So you are towards the principal putting in only $400. And so previously your interest amount was 500, that will increase to 600.
Yeah.
But the total will still stay 1,000. That
Perfect.
means you will pay down your mortgage a lot slower. You are making more interest payments towards the bank. So the bank is actually happier this is happening. Another interesting, sorry, Ravi.
So yeah, like I have a variable rate at like 1.8 and to lock in at 2.9 because I need a peace of mind, it doesn't make sense to me. Yes, variable rate's gonna go up, but like for me, I will take that risk because historically what I've seen is those rates come down as well. Like they don't keep on rising. At a certain point, something breaks in the economy and they start coming down. So I will enjoy the rates at 1.8 until it lasts. And if it comes up to 2.8, like in a year's time, I haven't paid 2.8 starting now, right? So that's my mentality when it comes to rates. So yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of point out.
No, I think Ravi, that is quite right. And historically speaking, people who have had variable rates has always been the one who has benefited from the interest rate over the last 10 years. Yes. That's how they have been. Yes. Fixed rates that have always been higher. And what will happen is, I will tell you, is this is a little bit of the reason why the Bank of Canada increased the rates is because of high inflation.
Yeah.
The inflation is high, the prices, the unemployment, and the manufacturing, and any instability that is basically people in Canada are paying more. Your consumer goods prices has gone up. That means higher inflation. And that has everything to do with COVID. So once these things goes away, once the inflation prices comes down, historically, Canada's inflation has never crossed over 2. This is ridiculous what has happened. And this is not going to stick around.
Yeah.
And even with the war in Ukraine, if the prices do go up, inflation might go up and prime might go up in 2023, but it's only temporary. It's not going to be a long-term play. So possibly.
Yeah, so sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to point out a couple of things with respect with time, right? Scotiabank has great programs for self-employed people. I've heard you guys have a better TDS calculation when you're doing mortgages for people. And you guys have a newcomers program as well, which is a great program. I have a couple of clients who've got this and they're laughing when they weren't getting approved from other banks. They got approved from you because you guys have that program. So so if you guys, any of you who are watching this want to get a mortgage or start a conversation with Shomo, I'll include his name and number under this YouTube channel. You can give him a call anytime and he would love to help you guys out. Now, any other questions you guys have? Like going out to everyone now.
Do these numbers include pre-sale as well, or it's just the?
Yeah, no, they don't. So this is the problem. Pre-sale market is governed by an act called REDMA, and it's separate for developments. and the resale is governed by the Real Estate Act. So there are two different acts. Unfortunately, we do not take in calculations of what the pre-sale market's doing, right? And I've always pointed this out to people who produce these stats, like at the board level, that we should have something that gets reported within the MLS system, because there's a lot of supply coming in 2024, right? That will all of a sudden come. And if these government policies, like if they keep on increasing rates and supply kicks in, I think we don't know what's going to happen. But then there's the other factor, which is migration. There's a lot of people moving into BC as well. According to stats, there's about 55,000 people that will move into BC this year only, right? So yeah, so the stats this stats talks about just resale market only. The pre-sale market is totally separate from the resale market. And these stats are taken from the numbers that are reported by the real estate brokerages to the real estate board, and the real estate board publishes these stats on their website, right? And what this company does is takes that stats and puts it into more readable format. So so that's how these numbers are created.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi Ravi.
Hey.
Tarun here. Actually, I have a question. There's something out of this you just discussed. So my question is like, I'm international. I just completed my education. I just on my open work permit, and I'm really interested in pre-sale. I have attended your previous Zoom interview call here. And I just have very few initial investment amount, like 10,000, 15,000. Is there an opportunity for people like me who just can invest such low amount by financing or any other way? Like there's one a mortgage broker is also there. You are also realtor is also there. So what you suggest for the people like me who are really interested in all this, but they have very low amount in their pocket?
Okay. So one of the things we have done in past is combine friends who have these small amounts and buy their first investment together, right? So that's one way of doing it. Now, if you buy pre-sale, it is speculative, and it can go up and down. When it goes down, you just hold it and rent it or live in it, because eventually it will go up, right? Based on like how much inward migration is coming in, and how less we're building. But there will become a time where there might be more supply than demand, right? So at that time, you just hold the place and not panic. So and you need like-minded people to invest. Like if out of 5 people, 1 person's really nervous and one's out, then you have to make an agreement between the 5 partners that, hey, this is how we're going to invest, and nobody exits until we make this much money, right? And here's the plan. We're going to rent it and we're going to keep it. So that's one way. Shomo, do you have any other way where a person like Tarun can enter the market?
I think what you mentioned, like going in a partnership to entering the market, that's always a good thing. And I think one crucial thing what Ravi mentioned during his presentation is being actively involved in the market, so you know when it's a good deal. If you just look at the news and just what's everyone sharing in social media, you would only see a glimpse of the good glamorous thing that's happening. Where you can actually benefit from, you have to be actively involved to find that really good deal. I think that is the crucial aspect of keeping an eye, being open-minded, and like, not so close. I'm not going to look into that at all. That is not, you have to be open. So if you are that, I think that's all you require.
I'll give you an
Right.
example,
And-
Karun, like
Yes,
with
sir.
being active, right? We had
Right.
one client who was looking at condos last year, and we went into multiple offers few times and could not get anything. There came a
Mhm.
time where market did slow down a bit for a period of time. And what had happened is we found something for him that was a great deal, and he picked it up after 3 months of going through 5 offers that fell apart. But the thing is, if
Right.
he wasn't active in the market, he would not have known what is a good deal, right? So we
Right,
highly
right.
recommend that you go through this process of
Being
even
active
not
in the
getting,
market.
even not getting some offers, right? Once you understand the cycle, I think you will find you will know what I mean. Like you will get to a point after not getting 5 offers, you will learn so much that moving forward now becomes a breeze, right? And when
Right.
good deal comes, you know it's a good deal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And just a last question. So is there any opportunity to get finance to people who having just income like 35 to 40 or 35 to 45K annually?
So it is possible. So I would say if it's among the banks, I would say Scotia is the one that has the most flexible in terms of policies, and someone who it will be considered for exceptions. What I mean by that is basically at both like the top-notch banks, what I mean by that is both like all our top 5 banks, like the top 2, it's like RBC and TD, your debt servicing has to be at 40% or 42. At Scotia, if your credit is good, that can go as high as 50%.
Okay, right.
Right. And that's one of the flexibilities that you're able to do. And also another thing at Scotia that we can do is if you have a pool of liquid assets that you're not using, you can show that to get mortgages without the necessary income, dollar for dollar.
Right.
So there is a program called total net worth lending. So let's say you have 500,000, not with Scotia, anyone else, you can get 500,000 in mortgages with Scotia. So there is some flexibility there, but we can definitely take a look. Ravi is sharing my contact, so I can definitely just a quick rundown, like what I can get for you. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for the information to both of you. Really appreciate.
Can you
Okay,
define
no worries.
liquid asset?
And okay, any other questions? Great questions, by the way. And we're really wanting to help like newcomers, anyone who has less down payment. Like we want you to become a homeowner, and we'll help you, sit down with you, spend time with you, to educate you. Like I do a free buyer consultation meeting where I cover stats, I cover buying process, I cover mortgage products, I go over an in-depth questionnaire to understand your needs. And then we can do up a game plan for you for next 10, 15 years, right? We have some people in this cycle where they got their property in 2014. They took equity out and they've got 2 more properties. And then there's this couple of individuals in my database who are at about 6 properties now. And imagine they bought in 2014, 2015, right? Now, based on inflation, based on the way things are working, based on inward migration, based on up and down of demand, supply, and price, you still have opportunity to catch deals where you can buy, rent, and keep, buy, rent, and keep, buy, rent, and keep. Because if you have a long-term plan in mind, like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you add 3% inflation rate on each property, you can imagine every year how much that the equity in that property is growing, especially in a beautiful place like Vancouver. All right. So with that thought in mind, I will end this call, and I would like to invite you guys to our next next webinar, where we'll talk more about pre-sales. And I do have data and stats for pre-sales as well. And we subscribe to this system where they collect this data and they share it with us, and we pay quite a large amount for this every year. But I have all the stats for pre-sales as well. So I want to share that with you in our next call. We're going to do another webinar where we will have a mortgage broker, an accountant, and a lawyer as well. We will talk about how to set things up if you are going to do our real estate planning with us and want to acquire like 5-6 properties, right, with our guidance. So I look forward to working with you guys. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you, Ravi.
Webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi.
Shomo, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks to Scotiabank for coming in to this webinar and answering these questions. These guys are great. I'm getting a mortgage through them just now, and I've had the best experience so far. And if you are a newcomer, self-employed person, or anyone who needs a mortgage, these guys are awesome. Amit and Shomo are great.
Thank you so much, Ravi, and really
Thank you.
appreciate your help. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank
And
you.
and any questions you guys have, please give me a call or give Shomo or Amit a call. And their number will be displayed down in this YouTube video. Call us anytime, right? We would love to sit with you and go over our real estate plan for you, cater it to your needs. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for
Have a
attending.
great
Bye.
weekend
Have
ahead.
a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.